Alright, I can explain. The big bottles of Monster, in case I run out of gas or Lucky runs out of gas, we could chug them and go fill up some fuel down the street and we're set. Alright, I want to put all my electronics on the other side away from any liquid. Gotta remember not to bend down too much because I got a drink in my bag. Alright, we're officially underway. Well, getting fuel at least. Now I get to play the game where I don't spill any fuel on the tank that I just washed last night. Just let it go, just stop. As soon as I get a drop on the tank, that's when I'm like, oh, I'll stop there. Alright, let me text that I'm on my way. 2 hours, 17 minutes, 107 miles. Get away from that lady on the phone. So here's the deal. This looks familiar. This gas station looks familiar. The monsters in my bag look familiar. A clean bike may not look familiar. And the roads quickly will not look familiar whatsoever. Got the GoPro here, not familiar. Well, maybe, depends on when this video comes out, or the series or whatever I'm doing. It's 8:37, about to be 8:38. I'm going to keep track. Trip 1 is my fuel. Trip 2 is total miles for the day. So hopefully I remember to look at that. What did I say? It was 107 miles to Roanoke Rapid, or Rapids, plural. Don't hit the liquid. Don't hit the liquid. All right, let's do this. No interstate, no highways. At least that's what Google Maps says, reads. No tolls, no ferries, nothing. Just road. I think it was supposed to tell me something. Let's see. Tell me a direction. Tell me a direction. Off to a great start. Off to a great start. All right, let me pull over here. Oh, there we go. All right, I knew it. All right, I had a feeling. All right, so here's the deal. I've got this lady chirping in my ear, which I'm not quite sure if it's actually telling me directions, the right directions. It could just all be in my head. And my suspicion of having multiple personalities may actually come to fruition on this trip. It's telling me to make a right, so let's get out of here. But no, I'm super excited about this. She's going to be talking and she's going to distract me. I have a hard enough time keeping track of everything. But I like the quad lock, but I don't like when I have the quad lock in like the 360 or the GoPro, for example, right now. So I'm going to try to rock without it. All right, 6 miles. She's not going to talk to me. It's like 50 something degrees today. Today is October the 16th. It's Thursday. I've got lots to talk about, so I hope you're ready. Hope you're ready. This is I've been looking forward to this. I'm gonna try to stay in order. I'm sure I'll do the least importance, order of least importance first. That's how you do it in YouTube, right? Yeah, that's how I do it. Yeah, hook the viewer. Now this is just gonna be a kind of a documentary on a long trip. I don't know how many episodes this will be, but I'm heading to see Lucky. Lucky Ace is riding. If you're a friend of mine, then you probably know him and his channel. So I'll get into that in a little bit, but I want to just get over the kind of some of the housekeeping things as far as this series. I may or may not have started it with the prep of the bike. I think it's probably a good idea. That video I have not edited yet. But that video, good Lord. let me just preface this real quick. And I have no problem. I don't know if I'm trying to make it better or if it actually inadvertently is making it worse. But I've changed my oil in this bike many times. I've changed my oil in my truck many times. I have never, where's the motorcycles use extreme caution? Not this motorcycle. Reckless abandonment. Good thing I washed the bike. I'm not even a few miles, several miles away from home, and I've already got it dirty. Where's my, oh, is this it? No, just uneven roads. Well, at least it's not a bunch of rocks like bouncing up and down. But going back to it, tangent, see, this can be difficult. I have changed my oil many times, and I have never ever taken the oil filter off first before the drain plug. I did in that video, and I guarantee you I left it in. If I made that a video, I guarantee you I left it in. And if I didn't make it a video, well, guess what? I just told on myself. That's what I do here. That's what I do. Oh my gosh. Now this is I like to have fun here. Can't take life too serious and telling on yourself. Just I was just, I guess, talking through it, and my mind was elsewhere at the time. I had all these cameras up. I was nerding out. So anyway, that was who knows where that video is. It's archived, waiting to be edited like 10 years from now. What not to do. That's probably what I titled it, is how not to change your oil, or how not to prepare for a long trip. So yeah, I actually took it pretty serious, which is surprising. Maybe I'm turning a new leaf, and I'm gonna try to, still waiting for that sign, motorcycles take extreme caution. That'd be a great thumbnail, right? Is this it? No, road work ahead. All right, anyway, trying to take two wheels a little more serious as far as my maintenance, my upkeep. I still don't have an inspection. I get it. Yeah, I may pay for that. There may be some foreshadowing. I may pay for that in this trip, especially these small towns that I'm going to ride through because I'm avoiding the interstate. But I tell you what, those state troopers, they've got eagle eyes too. But you know, I ended up forced myself to get my tires right. Yep, good for me. Good on me. I changed the oil as I was talking about. I changed the air filter out. I got a K&N air filter, and let me tell you something about that. Supposedly, that adds some horsepower, and I would venture to say that there's a placebo effect. I'll say that first. There's probably a placebo effect. Oh, I'm still waiting for the damn sign. But this bike feels, yes, there it is. Oh, extreme caution, baby. Let's go. It's the little things, isn't it? The little things in life. But this bike feels a whole lot better. Oh yeah, we're back. I couldn't find it when I was doing the video, but I'm pretty sure I read that it could add, you know, like 2 or 3 horsepower or something. Which what I'm getting at is, most people wouldn't know the difference, or wouldn't feel the difference. And I'm not saying that there is a difference. I feel like there is, but like I said, it could be the placebo effect. But I feel like it's, I don't know, I feel like it sounds different. Is that a thing? I don't know. I feel like it sounds better. I feel like, well, you know what? I know it sounds better because when I punch the throttle, when I hit the throttle, it's pretty responsive. And I would venture to say that K&N air filter is badass, okay? I'm just saying it, okay? All right, Joe Pesci. Okay. Lethal Weapon, anybody? All right, moving on. But when you have a bike such as this, Honda Shadow, and it's about 43 horsepower, 745cc motorcycle, 2 or 3 horsepower, you might actually be able to tell the difference. So maybe it's not a placebo effect. Either way, it's nice. I got that done. I've got a folder in my phone that I'm going to keep all my maintenance squared away as far as that. I actually bought some spark plugs too. Oh, she's talking to me. Yeah, I knew that. I actually should have looked. I looked at the path a little bit, but I should have looked at it a little bit more. But we're going to actually dive into North Carolina pretty quick. We're going to leave Virginia pretty quick, and then that was kind of my goal. All right, let's go. That was a quick 6 miles, huh? Not if you're listening to me. So it just sounds like, I don't know, motorcycle sounds a lot better when you punch the throttle. It's not, I don't want to say hiccuping. So I have a pretty good suspicion that the air filter was, well, it did look dirty, but I feel like this is much better. All right, head right, should be at this light. Oh, I meant to actually look, because I think at 40, lady, at 40 minutes, I'm going to pull over and charge my battery. We'll get into that in a little bit. I've got a weird suspicion that I'm not recording. Or the... Oh, no, it's recording. Oh, I got a light. Or that my mic's not plugged in. So I'm headed to Roanoke Rapids. It's east of Lake Gaston, and it's about a 2 hour 13, 2 hour 17. I can't remember what it actually said with the traffic this go around, but last night it was 2 hours 13. So I'll get there in 2.5 hours. I got to stop, pull over, change batteries out, maybe grab a swig of Monster and all that stuff. But I'm looking forward to this trip, and there's actually a lot to talk about for this particular trip. There's a spot I think I end up 30 miles on the road, so I'll be able to knock a lot of that conversation out without, oop. All right, thanks, me. Feminine version of me in my head. Hopefully my lid doesn't fall off my water too, but then again I have Monster, so they'll be all right. Going to Roanoke Rapids, east of Lake Gaston. Lucky and I, he actually said something about, I do these interviews, these podcasts. I'm not really sure what to call them, but interviews sounds a little formal. Podcast sounds more, I guess, today's age, right? Informal, so to speak, I guess. But it's called, if you don't know it by the channel, don't know it, it's called, I named it Beyond the Shadow. And the reason why I do that is because it's like beyond a couple of, like, play on words, obviously beyond the shadow, like the Shadow motorcycle, my motorcycle. I don't interview people with just Honda Shadows necessarily. I interview people that have motorcycles. It doesn't have to be that you currently own one. It could just be a conversation pertaining to motorcycles, or kind of like, I kind of get into a deep dive. I certainly don't know everything, nor do, oh, welcome to North Carolina. Yeah, we made it. I certainly don't know everything about motorcycles, or quite a bit about it. I enjoy motorcycle riding. I enjoy it. I'm learning. I'm like a sponge when it comes to it. I've got the rest of my life to learn, okay, about it, and like the history of it, the rich history of those who ride, and their own personal ride, not just the brand. I'm not a snob when it comes to, like, it's either Honda or nothing, or Harley or nothing, Indian nothing, Yamaha, Suzuki, whatever. I'm not like loyal to a brand. I'm loyal to this motorcycle, I guess you could say. I'm a Redskin fan. I mentioned that before, so my loyalty runs deep. I've been a Redskin fan for a few decades. Yeah, for sure, over three decades. So definitely a fan, definitely loyal. But it's a play on word, and it's also the shadow of the person. So everybody, just casual conversation here, everybody has a story to tell, and I firmly believe that. And I really enjoy hearing other people's stories. And doing this, I've done it twice. One with Restless Mule, who lives in Texas, and another one, that was the first one, another episode was with Moto Alley, who lives in Canada. So it's fun to see like a wide variety of geographical locations, different rides. Moto Alley actually has a Honda Shadow. Lucky Aces has a Honda Shadow. He has a few bikes, I guess. 3 is few. So he has 3 motorcycles, and I'll get into that later on, especially during the podcast interview, whatever you want to call it. I had to figure out what to actually call it and just go with it. Happy Halloween, everybody. Did I say it was the 16th of October? I'm pretty sure I did. What was I talking about? So this gives me an opportunity to hear somebody else's story and let them share their story, right? Gives a platform, and none of these guys or whoever I interview in the future, guys, girls, whatever, like none of them I would say don't have a platform to tell their story or share their story, but it's just kind of, I don't know, it's just easier to say it that way. So I'm really looking forward to this because he actually said, hey, look, he lives in North Carolina, I live in Virginia, let's meet halfway, let's do one in person. I was like, yeah, hell yeah, dude, let's do it. So here we are, and you know, with life and busy and all that other stuff, blah blah blah, it's been documented on the channel. Things just didn't work out until I hit him up. I said, hey, look, let's knock it out, because he was at the point now, rightfully so, if we don't get it done, this was in September, I think, the conversation, if we don't get this done in October, by next month, meaning October, then we might have to wait till next year. So today was the day. I was being quiet because the voice is in my head, not because of that car. All right, quarter mile, making a right. The 11th, it wouldn't have worked out because we had a nor'easter, so that was actually pretty good, but I was only going to be able to hang out till about 3 o'clock or so. Today I got the whole day, there's no rush. I'm taking my time on the way home. Second right. Oh, so it worked out because today's the day, I got the full day, and we would have been kind of fighting some wet weather, road conditions, kind of messy road conditions anyway, even if it wasn't raining. So you know what, perfect timing. And with the weather kind of breaking, I think we get one more good week next week. It'll be in the 70s, and after that it's kind of a crapshoot because Halloween's approaching. Speaking of Halloween, what's the deal with all this Christmas stuff? We haven't even gotten to Halloween yet, and we're fighting through Thanksgiving and to get to Christmas. So we're looking forward to hearing his story. We've talked back and forth through his videos, my videos, email, text. We had a phone call kind of discussing what we're planning on doing, how to do this, kind of nailing down a final location as far as meet up. Hopefully this place works out. I'm sure it will. It just depends. Are we going to be standing around talking, or are we going to be sitting down? No, they have like some picnic area. What in the world is that? What word did I make up? Picnic table area? There we go. I don't know. Sometimes I talk in cursive. There's an example. But it looks like they have some pretty cool shots on the lake. Hydroelectric plant is there, and hopefully I'm allowed to fly the drone. We'll see. But either way, I think it'll be pretty cool. Get some shots of the bike, get some bikes, plural, and some shots of the lake and stuff like that with the drone. Now let's talk about some stuff. Talk about preparing myself. So like I said, I changed the oil. Really took this serious, and golly, man, I didn't get a lot of sleep. Wouldn't that suck if my bag was wide open and all my cameras fell out? Anyway, I have a story on that too, but kind of a similar trip to Lake Gaston. This is 2.0, different bike though. So I like massively prepared for this. I'm talking cameras. Obviously, I already mentioned about the bike. I washed it. I checked the tire pressure. I did a very thorough job on this, and I know that, you know, a little over 100 miles or whatever doesn't seem like a lot to many people, but I ride so much around my area that it might be, you know, a 30-minute ride, and, you know, within the city, the outer edges. Look at that. Not all built up around here. I tell you, if you're not pressed for time, there is no reason to not ride the back roads. Especially, I was mentioning about, you know, it'd be colder, but when these leaves start changing, it's going to be even better. Going back to the cameras and stuff, I charged the batteries. I got everything right. I got a new GoPro, not this one, the one on my helmet right now. I got the Hero 13 because I may or may not release a video on that because there was an issue with the mounting, the motorcycle mount. But I figured it out now. It's I had a feeling it was my fault, but it's a weird screw that but it's an Allen key. You got to tighten. Use Allen key to tighten this one spot, but you can only access it when it's manipulated a certain way. It's kind of weird. It seems like it's kind of off. I don't know why it spins the way it does, but anyway, different story. I may or may not have put that video out. I was looking pretty dumb. I think yeah, it said 83, 183. 83 is my number. Oh man, tangents. I'm pretty dumb, so I'll probably post it just to poke fun at myself, because I don't mind. All right, quarter mile left. Yeah, it's much better listening to myself in my head than having that visual up there. Although when we ride together, I may put it up here, and I figured I could put it sideways to do a little landscape mode, and then it won't be so high, because my big ass phone sticks like way up here. Anyway, yeah, so I got the batteries right. I flew the drone. I brought the drone with me. As I mentioned, I want to get some shots on that, so I want to get there kind of early. And I learned like how to do like the point of interest, so like you can pick a point and have it rotate around. I did it on accident one time, but the trick is you actually got to fly. I was thinking that you had to point on the screen where what you wanted, like an object to do it, but you actually fly over it, look directly down, and then point. So I don't know if it recognizes the object or the GPS, or maybe both. And the reason why I say the object is because I also learned how to track me. So I was tracking my dog as she was walking in the backyard, and that was like 150 feet, 200 feet up in the air. My little white dog running around, Fallon. So that was pretty cool. It tracked pretty good until she went past the one of the trees, crepe myrtles in the backyard. So that was pretty neat. So I dialed that in. The thing I'm the most nervous about. Hey, what's up? The bad dad joke. So the thing I'm the most nervous about is the lav mics. Man, this is rather enjoyable. Half a mile. So with the lav mic, having that, I'm able to record internally. So some of like the DJI, the Rode mic, some of the other mics, maybe the newer ones do, but newer as in brand new, not newer. Anyway, fire station. I'd venture to say this is a volunteer company. South Mills, yeah. 3 miles. Yeah, to volunteer to do that kind of job, hats off to y'all. Good Lord, as a city guy, hats off to y'all. Golly, this is nice. I tell you what, I don't know how I'm going to edit this video. As far as like making it a series, I know I'm going to make it a series, but I don't know how I'm going to do it. As far as time-wise, the duration, much needed, and this is really nice. I guess we'll dive into that real quick too. As far as my trips, the longest trip I've taken, I've ridden for 8 years now. I got this in 2017 on the Eastern Shore. And the next year, 2018, I had 2 friends that combined their bachelor trip. It was a little cold. Slurred my speech. I also probably should have done this as a tangent. I take cold showers too, like as cold as I can get. Or since January, I've not used any heat. I think I did one, but I hated it. And it's not comfortable, but I can get used to it, if you can get used to it, I guess. But I probably shouldn't have taken one today, being as cold as it is. Or it's not really cold, but the wind chill, real feel with the motorcycle. We're traveling at 65 miles an hour. If I've got that, I'll still show. Half a mile, make a right. So, I'm like shivering. Oh, I need a monster to get loose. Oh, I gotta take this right. My brain says take this right. This is not the longest route or longest ride. Some of you, Whisker 74, that dude will ride for like 4 hours. just gone. He's gone. He's out. Oh man, Steven Turner. I think he's another one that rides for like hours on end or something. I think he's the one that said actually about. I'm curious about my hand. Thanks for the heads up. You know, as far as riding for a long time, the difference is I'm up and down the throttle, so I'm not stagnant. So as far as my cruise control, lack thereof cruise control, maybe I'll be all right, but we'll see. So appreciate the heads up. All y'all give great advice, and I appreciate it. So going back to 2017, I got the bike. 2018, I took a ride to Smith Mountain Lake. For me, that's just under 200 miles. to 190 miles. It was in the remnants of Hurricane Harvey that went up from the Gulf, went through Texas and up north, and I end up just I tell you, it was cold. You talk about cold, rainy, drizzle, all that other stuff. You know, it was just a storm by then. Not even a tropical storm. It was just, you know, it turned into just a bunch of bands of rain, and I went through that like on and off, just hitting rain. And at one point I was so cold, wet, that I pulled over to a Dollar General and bought another sweatshirt, a second sweatshirt that was for like the local team, whatever the local team, high school team was there. And then I had a bunch of like washcloths, I used like sweat towels and stuff, and I stuffed them in my boots to keep the water from running down into my socks. So that was yeah, but I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I remember coming down a deep hill or steep hill, and there was a dog in the middle of the road, car behind me, and I don't know why I didn't. Well, I know why, inexperience. I'll get to that in a second. So the dog was in the middle of the road, 2 lanes, and I got over in 1 lane. I didn't slow down. I don't know why I didn't do it. Like I said, inexperience, maybe. But I gotta keep track of my speed here too, because these little towns. Another volunteer company. These towns love writing tickets. Got a little revenue. But yeah, so I ended up going through that or whatever. I got there safely, obviously, same bike, all that good stuff. Well, I was telling my wife about it. Like, I had no business taking that trip. Just like, I really had no business going on the interstate. Like, I think about that. Like, I just knew that all I had to do is get on the interstate, get up to speed, and then I would become one with traffic. You know, and it was one of those things. If I'm moving in same direction, about the same speed, I'll be fine. And I just jumped on the interstate. I don't recommend that for anybody. I don't think anybody's, unless I'm really confident in the advice that I'm going to give. I don't necessarily give the advice as far as like non-verbal. If I'm saying, hey, y'all be careful of this, and that, that's one thing. But if you see me doing something stupid, yeah. Non-verbal, don't do it. But going back, like interstate, like I just did it, and I never felt like anxious or uncomfortable, and obviously that's why I entertained. I just held back a shiver. That's why I entertained even jumping on the interstate. But you know, as little riding as I did, like I never took a long trip on a motorcycle, something that could get up to speed. And I'll get to my Lake Gaston trip next. My original Lake Gaston trip. Alright. I'm going 65, but that's fine. So I was going back and forth, you know, to work and all that stuff, and I was comfortable, and to the point where I did it. But you know, I was also hell-bent on going even during the rainstorm. So, do I regret it? Absolutely not. It was a great memory. I didn't die, which is good. And, you know, this is another story to tell. So I had a great time. Even the ride home was even better because it was like perfect conditions. It was like some of the worst conditions, especially for like how junior I was to riding motorcycles. But on the ride home was like one of the best trips I've ever had. Except for I remember a lady like dumping her whole ashtray out on the ground in the parking lot, or excuse me, at the fuel pump. It's like the local police. Well, the good news is that guy ahead of me, if there is any cops, they'll probably find him first. I'll catch him. There'll be like a random traffic light up here. I'll catch him.